So, this just in, the CW doesn't care about ratings, or at least when it comes to Batwoman, aka Batwoman, or aka Batwoman, of what other YouTubers keep calling the show. I mean, goodness gracious, but they don't care about ratings. It's very evident because thus far, season 1 was absolutely. I think I only watched like one episode of season 1. Season 2, I haven't even watched a single episode of it yet. But from the YouTubers that I watched that dialogue this stuff, season 2 almost has no plot line practically. The way that, I don't know the black girl's name, but the way she got the suit has, again, no storyline behind it, other than it was practically just sitting there waiting for her right in front of her, like given to her practically, and so on. And it's funny because when they announced they was ending Arrow at, I think, season 8, if I'm not mistaken. They was ending Arrow at season 8 sometime within the last couple years. They was ending Arrow at season 8. Because they wanted to dive deeper into the DC cinematic universe. DCEU, as they call it. They wanted to dive deeper in there. And I was super excited when they announced Batwoman. Oh, Lord. This is what they mean by diving, because, again, it's so funny because also Sci-Fi had Krypton. Remember that? Superman's planet? They had Krypton. I don't know why that show ended, but it did. But Sci-Fi had Krypton on. And so on. But it's quite amazing because I think Krypton as well ended after like 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons. I don't know how many, but they didn't go to too many seasons. And it's quite amazing, if I'm not mistaken. It's just quite amazing, because God bless Warner, but it's very evident that either Warner or CW, one of those two, if not both, I think they're both pretty much the same company, same company or ran by the same people. If I'm not mistaken. AT&T owns all of them, if I'm not mistaken. But whoever is the executives over there, like whoever the executive producer, whoever green lighting this stuff for another season, does not care about ratings. That's pretty much what it is. The producers, whoever, they often do not care about ratings because it's tanking. They can't even crack over 1 million viewers, which is exactly the same boat that the NBA is in right now. You can barely crack over 1 million viewers. How in God's holy name did that happen? Especially when you broadcast everything on TNT, you broadcast everything on TNT and ESPN. How and ABC? How in God's holy name are you now struggling to crack over 1 million? How? The NBA, similar to the NFL, they used to be up there with most of the country. Well, actually, the whole country knows about them, obviously, still now. It's just because of the politics and the election, most of the country, I guess, has absolutely tuned out of the NFL, the NBA, and I guess Batwoman as well. It's so amazing. It's so amazing, if you were the person to ask me. I haven't watched a single episode. I watched one episode, I think, of Batwoman, if I'm not mistaken. And, obviously, I don't think whatever, I don't think, just me alone will hurt versus me alone will help any rating rise in terms of my own viewership. But, it's so funny because the way the first season went was just hysterical. I'm not a feminist, if I were, I'm not a mainstream feminist. Like, I don't believe in all the mainstream garb that they are promoting out there. Respect men, respect women. God first one to shame, as my God of everything hat says. Right here. And so on. But it's so hysterical because you would think that maybe season 2 is tanking because everybody's so used to Ruby Rose. So it's like, bring Ruby Rose back. She's the GOAT. She's the original. No, because God bless Ruby Rose, but when I first saw that she was casted for that role, I said, this is an absolute, this doesn't make any sense. Now, I love Ruby Rose, or particularly I loved her in that movie with Vin Diesel called Triple X Xander Cage, if I'm not mistaken. I loved her in that movie. I love her. She was bad in that movie. Bad. But I did not like her in Batwoman whatsoever. Even though I only watched one episode, when I saw the commercials for it, I'm like, Ruby, you look absolutely forced in this role. You do not match it at all. You do not match it. You do not look the part. Tony Stark's wife would have looked better as Batwoman than you. Her story would have been more authentic than yours. And people would have watched because of her, more than they would have watched because of you, and so on. It's just dumb because they didn't. It's like similar to what a lot of my favorite, YouTubers, I've been talking about. Like guys like the quartering, and not really black and white sports. They don't they haven't covered this, but the quartering and geeks and gamers with Jeremy and RK, RK Ryan Cannell and so on. And yeah, Shaq was black and white sports. Now, I want you to understand, I don't agree with everything they say. I really don't, but I agree with definitely a good 80-90% of everything that they say, if not 70%. Not all conservatives think alike. I want everybody to understand, not all conservatives think alike. I love Brandon Tatum, I love Candace Owens, but not every conservative thinks alike. I'm a black independent conservative. But politics aside, it's so amazing. It really is so amazing because God's my judge and witness. You would think, because what the quartering and others have said. Oh yeah, by the way, Mecca Random 42, look her up. She's awesome. Mecca Random 42, she's also awesome. But as I was saying, it's so amazing because people like the quartering and so on have said, oh my goodness, this is lazy writing. No plot line, no character development. This is just lazy writing. Bad acting and lazy writing. And so on. And that's why shows like Batwoman have not succeeded the way not only the CW, but the whole world would have expected because lazy writing, bad acting, and no plot lines, no character development. And when Ruby Rose, it was just hysterical when she said in season 1, I don't know which episode it was hysterical in season 1 when she said, I'm not going to let a man take credit for a woman's work. Oh my God. That was hysterical in my mind. And then when she said... And then when she said, the suit will be perfect once it fits a woman. Oh my God. Because if I'm not mistaken, that sounds like some identity politics, doesn't it? And so on, It's amazing. It really is amazing. Now, see, that's the thing about me, It's hysterical because it's funny as God knows what in my mind. Hearing that, I'm like, it's so funny. And also because I'm a women's empowerment guy, there's a part of me that likes those lines, but there's also the black conservative part, if not just really the conservative part, throw the black part out of there. That's like, that is bad. That is terrible. How more woke can you go? How much woke can you go? But the women's empowerment part of me is like, that's dope. That's awesome. To an extent. Because just to let you know, the women's empowerment part of me is not a complete, it is not a complete woke feminist. Just to let you know. But obviously I have a woke side of me, obviously. And it's just amazing, lines like, I'm not going to let a man take credit for women's work. Especially when you just got this show. You haven't even had a movie yet. You just got this show. You have had no character development. You just broke into your cousin's house, stole all his stuff. You've had no character development. That is just awful. Awful, ladies and gentlemen. And for them to have been renewed for a season 3 when it's evident that season 2 ratings are absolutely tanking in the garbage, a hot toilet fire, it's very evident. CW doesn't care about ratings. They don't care. At least with this show, they do not care about ratings. They will force this down your throat until they have absolutely 0 viewers. They will force this down your throat until they have absolutely 0 viewers. Because nobody wants this. Nobody. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. It's amazing, isn't it? It's just amazing. It's amazing. I got a lot more women's empowerment songs, real women's empowerment songs coming out, just to let you know. I'm all into that. Godly women's empowerment, which is why, again, it's God over everything. I love women with all my heart and soul, which is the top reason why I made a song titled I Love Women on this channel. With the cover of the photo being, cover of the song being my friend Josie and her couple friends. Actually, our friends, really. My bad. My bad. It's just I can barely remember everybody's names. But yeah, they're all 3 on the cover. My friends. But the only one that I remember their name of is Josie at this moment. But I'm pretty sure I know all 3 of their names. But the last time I looked at the cover was a while ago. But there's a reason why I made that song. You can go look at it on this channel. And I love women. And also, my song title Stilettos. That's another women's empowerment song. I have no idea what album that's on this channel, but I know my song title Stilettos is another women's empowerment song. I love that song. And I've made quite a lot. I make music for my friends, make music for the schools, make music for the sporting events. I make music for just God, for anybody, everybody. I'm now making music for, TV shows and movies, and I mean, it's amazing, and hopefully those songs will be eventually licensed for those exact TV shows and movies. But either way, I'm going to make them either way. They're inspired by the TV shows and movies, and so on and so on. But it's amazing, ladies and gentlemen. It's amazing the no character development, the lazy writing, and then the Batmobile they said was like just like a basic Corvette or something like that. You put no real work into the Batmobile. Batmobile is not supposed to be something that you can just buy at some random car dealership right now. Batmobile is supposed to be something unique, deluxe, state of the art, let alone military grade. Something that again takes time, work, and effort, let alone good acting does, and good plot and scripts and everything else like that. But it's just amazing when you look at it. It's amazing when you look at the fine print, the fine line, and what you see is that the CW or whoever else over there does not, whoever's running that show particularly does not care about plot development, character development, good writing, good acting. And it's funny because you take Ruby Rose out of it with all the woke garbage they had her say, and then you replace her with a black girl. God bless the black girl. But the problem is, once again, and the black girl came from God Friended Me, if I'm not mistaken. God Friended Me on CBS. That's where the black girl came from. God Friended Me. So, as I said, the stupid part about it. So you mean tell me you replace her with a black girl, and the dumbest part about that is that where's the character development? Where does her story begin? Nowhere. Nowhere. They just gave her the suit and said, hey, go fight crime. That's the problem. That is literally the goldmine problem here. Because whether it's Ruby Rose, the black girl, whoever it is, I promise to God, you can literally, I'm telling you, and I think anybody can rationally understand this. This stuff can sell. It can sell. It will sell. But you have to get people invested off of reality. Real time, real characters, real talent, real people that people actually want to see on screen. If not, they want to grow up with on screen. Bingo. People that that if they're not already established in a movie business and acting business, if they're not already established, then put people in front of the screen that we can grow with, we can learn from, and we can build with, if not build on, and so on. And that's what it is. It's really not rocket science, but obviously, who's ever running that particular show on CW is obviously, I want to say, out of their mind, or again, they're just saying how far these ratings can go. They're trying to see how far can they push this woke feminist agenda, or this woke whatever agenda they're pushing. They're trying to see how long can they push it down your throat until they get 0 viewers. Then they'll probably cancel it, hopefully. Oh, it's amazing. It really is amazing. And God bless CW, because I think they definitely have a lot of great shows on there over like the last decade. Some of the ones I grew up on, even though I didn't watch a ton of them, was stuff like 902.0 or 901 whatever, Gossip Girl, and Oak Tree Hill, Jane by Design, quite a few others that I can name that I grew up on the CW, even though I didn't watch all of them, but I definitely, I definitely remember all the advertising and so on, because the early 2010s were you could say golden period for me, let alone golden period for a lot of people. I was in Kearney Middle School, Duval County, if I'm not mistaken. Early 2010s. At first, I went to UC Christian Academy in 2010, and then I went to Kearney Middle School KMS. And in 2011 through 2011 through 2013. And before UC, I went to San Pablo Elementary in Jacks Beach, and then before that, I went to Kernan Trail Elementary, which is right behind Kernan Middle, for 2 years. I think in 2004, 2005, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever, time period, or 2005, 2006, I don't really remember the years. You can do that math for me, and so on. But yeah, I mean, God bless the CW. Their motto of Dare to Defy, it's brilliant, it's great. They've dared to defy with a lot of stuff, but the only problem is they absolutely have tanked with this show, and I got more coming soon. Your boy, man, Angel to the City, out.